It has been the official policy of every U.S. president since 1967 to oppose the building of settlements in the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. And that includes President George W. Bush, who has made repeated requests to the Israelis to halt settlement building. Yet no president has been able to put meaningful pressure on Israel to stop building settlements and, in effect, colonizing those territories. Just to show you how serious this problem is, consider what the Israelis did in the occupied territories between the signing of the Oslo Accords in September 1993 and the outbreak of the Second Intifada in September 2000. During that 7-year period, when the Clinton administration was committed to creating a Palestinian state and finally settling the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the Israelis confiscated 40,000 acres of Palestinian land, built 250 miles of connector and bypass roads, doubled the number of settlers, and built 30 new settlements. President Clinton, like his predecessors, and his successor, after Tuesday, successors, could not use America's considerable leverage to halt this building spree. In fact, the Clinton administration effectively supported Israel's actions in the occupied territories, protecting the Jewish state from criticism at the United Nations, giving it more foreign aid than any other country, and giving it unconditionally. Of course, the reason that Clinton and other presidents have been unable to put meaningful pressure on Israel to stop building settlements is the lobby. Nevertheless, Israel's policies in the occupied territories are not in America's national interest, which is why every president since Lyndon Johnson has opposed the settlements. To be more specific, there is an abundance of survey data and anecdotal evidence which shows that U.S. support for Israel's brutal treatment of the Palestinians and U.S. support for Israel's efforts to colonize Gaza and the West Bank angers, if not enrages, huge numbers of people in the Arab and Islamic world. Not surprisingly, that anger helps fuel terrorism against the United States. Let me emphasize that I'm not saying that America's support for Israel's policy towards the Palestinians is the only cause of the terrorism problem. I'm simply saying it is a major cause. Specifically, it motivates some individuals to attack the United States. It serves as a powerful recruitment tool for terrorist organizations, and it generates sympathy and support for terrorists among huge numbers of people in the Arab world. To illustrate this point, consider what the 9/11 Commission says about the motives of Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who it describes as the principal architect of the 9/11 attacks. To quote the Commission, by his own account, KSM's animus towards the United States stemmed not from his experiences there as a student, but rather from his violent disagreement with U.S. foreign policy favoring Israel. That's Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the principal architect of the 9/11 attacks.